Coming up on today's Ohio State Football Report, Jeremiah Smith sounding off on a variety of topics, the team up north, Julian Sayin, and more. We'll also briefly discuss Brett McMurphy's college football playoff predictions that came out today. Before we dive into that, the July like record on each channel of our college football channels here for an individual video. Alabama leads the way at 503. Michigan's at 502. Let's set it today. Please and thank you. Like the video for me right now. Let's dive into Jeremiah Smith's comments in his conversation with The Athletic, beginning with the one that I think will have the most positive reaction to it. He has essentially guaranteed a win over Michigan, not just this year, but next year as well for the Buckeyes. Here's what he said. I'm not a sore loser, but I hate losing. And losing to that team up north was pretty crazy. In the end, I think it really helped us play the way we did in the playoffs. But I didn't want to go to Ohio State and lose to that team up north. I just hate them. Just something about them. For the next 2 years, I promise you, I will not lose to them. I can't lose to them in the next 2 years. First off, how do you not love that? How is that not like everything you want out of your best player? To publicly call out the team up north, to challenge really in a way his own teammates of we're not going to lose this game. This has to be the mindset for Ohio State. Look, make no mistake about it. National championships are more important. I would still take the Natty over losing to Michigan, or over beating Michigan. That's just, it's a national championship. With that said, why not both? You can't lose to them again. You should have won last year. We know that. It should have happened. You have to beat them this year. You won in 2019. Despite the fact the game was not played in 2020, we all know it would have been a Buckeye blowout. Michigan was not good that year. It was clearly going to be an Ohio State win. But they've beat you 4 times in a row now. 2021 in a blowout, 2022 in a blowout, 2023 in a narrow one, 2024 in a narrow one. You should have won that game. Now, I do think that it helped kind of jumpstart the Buckeyes on that national championship run, but I also would like to just beat Michigan in the first place. So I think this year, it's got to be the year. It has to be, right? So with that in mind, and these options are intentional, will Ohio State beat Michigan this season? Y for yes, N for yes. There are no alternative options. Sound off in the comments of today's show. Jeremiah Smith also had some comments about Julian Sayin. Now, this was framed in the Athletic piece as the Buckeyes starter at quarterback, which isn't really the case quite yet because it's not set in stone as of this time. But this is what Jeremiah Smith said when asked about Sayin. That arm is different. He can make any and every throw. Just a smart quarterback. Like me, he's a little quiet, but he's starting to come out of his shell. He's definitely going to be a guy. It's going to be scary for opponents. This was kind of part of the conversation of like Smith learning to be a more vocal leader, which is important with all the talent you lost on that side of the ball, both sides of the ball, leadership-wise last year. It's also another hint at Julian Sayin, being the quarterback one for this upcoming season. So assuming he starts, which I do think is what ends up happening here, what is your confidence level in Julian Sayin? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comments of today's show. I think most of our confidence in Sayin does not stem from what we did last year, what we saw last year, because he didn't do anything. Nothing to really glean from in the 4 games he was able to play for the Buckeyes. The spring game, meanwhile, he was good. Despite a kind of widely reported inconsistent spring, he saved his best for last. And I think that will carry through into summer/fall camp and hopefully means he hits the ground running against a very, very good Texas team, which could very well be a college football playoff preview this year. Sayin is a 5-star quarterback, and you get a 5-star QB for the Buckeyes. I normally feel pretty about that, especially in recent years. I think he's going to be really good. I think there will be ups and downs. I don't think you're going to have instant impact, Heisman Trophy play from Julian Sayin, but I do think you're going to have a really good overall, track record this year for Sayin and gets better as the year goes along, and in theory is playing his best football, like he did at the spring, at the end of the actual season. Ohio State hats are available and on sale, by the way, up to 40-50% off. Chatsports.com/OSU hats. Wide variety, regular, trucker, flat bill. They got you covered. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. A clickable one over there in the corner as well. Chatsports.com/OSU hats. Go get yours today. Perfect for the summer and to keep your head free from the sun. So links in the comments and the description of today's show. Another minor note from Jeremiah Smith. He says he's added mass since arriving at Ohio State. He said he was 205, 208 once he got on campus, and then he's cut the body fat down to second lowest on the team and weighing 225 at the same time, which is insane. This is Des Bryant-esque build with maybe even more athletic ability there. The thing that I like most about this here, we have not yet seen the best of Jeremiah Smith. Think about that for a second. The guy that showed up on campus and was instantly one of, if not the best wide receiver in all of college football. Had he been draft eligible, we're talking like he would have been a top 5 pick, no doubt about it. As a freshman, that's insane. Now, I don't think his production, the production might not be as productive this year because he might not play the full 16-game slate. Maybe it's only 14 games. Maybe there's some blowout games early in the year or late in the year that he just doesn't put up the same production. But this guy's going to put up big-time numbers. This guy is going to be, I think, the best player in all of college football this upcoming season. I think he is a great candidate for the Biletnikoff as well. As a sophomore, true sophomore, he should be the favorite, right? That's how good this kid is. Now, the early CFP 26 ratings, I did the early access, by the way, because I'm a sicko. Jeremiah Smith is the highest-rated player in college football 26. 98 overall, tied for second, his teammate, Caleb Downs, the safety. They're going to be a very fun team to play with because you also got the young QB, easy recruiting base. It's going to be a fun team. Almost too good. I might not play that much with them because that feels like cheating. So either way, folks, we are getting closer to 11,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/GoBucks. We'll wrap up today's show with some college football playoff prediction conversation. Brett McMurphy, who is now a member of On3/Rivals, dropped his CFP and bowl projections for this upcoming season. We'll skip the bowl game. Doesn't really matter because it's Ohio State, and they did make the college football playoff. First, the first round. It was number 12 Boise at number 5 Texas. Number 9 Oregon at LSU, with Oregon winning, Texas winning. Clemson beating number 11 Utah, and then Alabama beating number 10 Miami. Utah is kind of maybe the weird one. Very curious how things play out for them. They've got plenty of talent. Boise State was your G5 nominee. Obviously, several Big Ten teams in there. Ohio State does have and does get the number 4 seed in the quarterfinal projection. So it's Ohio State versus Texas. Georgia was the 3 seed. They get number 6 Clemson in this scenario. Number 2, Penn State versus Alabama. Number 7, Bama. And then number 1, Notre Dame got Oregon. In the semifinals, then, it was Ohio State against Notre Dame. So, you're getting the rematch of Ohio State-Texas in the semifinals, which was a game last year. Sorry, in the quarterfinals, which we saw last year. Then you're getting another rematch of Ohio State and Notre Dame in the college football playoff semifinals. By the way, Ohio State does win that one in McMurphy's predictions. Penn State and then Georgia in the other CFP semifinals, with Georgia winning that one, by the way, which then leaves Georgia and Ohio State in the college football playoff national championship game. Unfortunately, McMurphy has the Bulldogs beating the Buckeyes in that one. So predictions here, and then a few more thoughts on this. Will Ohio State end up making it back to the national title game this upcoming season? Not any year, they'll do it at some point, but this year specifically. A for yes, B for no. I do think, if I told you right now the Buckeyes make it back, it kind of feels bittersweet, right? Like, you make it back, you got a chance to repeat. Objectively, it is a fantastic season, assuming you beat Michigan. You make it all the way back to the college football playoff. Like, if I told you didn't know what the outcome was, you take it every single season. No doubt about it. But you also don't repeat. You don't win, and that would sting a little bit. But it's still an objectively good season. It's not maybe an A-plus season, but, it's got to be at least an A-minus, right? And I think you'd likely be the betting favorites going into next season. Georgia would probably be right there alongside you, too. But you'd get back Julian Sayin, who played well in the championship game. You'd have Jeremiah Smith back. You're going to have a good recruiting class. So, a little bittersweet, but if I told you right now the Buckeyes make it back and you don't know the outcome, every single one of us is taking that, right?